His name is Joshua. I grew up in an emotionally unsafe home. My physical needs were met, but I often felt unloved. I made decisions that weren't always in my best interest to probably spend time with people I shouldn't have been spending time with and places I shouldn't have been. At the age of 14, I experienced a sexual assault. A short time later, I realized that I was pregnant, and I was terrified. I just knew that I didn't want an abortion. So I stayed quiet. I didn't tell anybody. Eventually, a very good friend of mine, who I trusted, heard the rumors, and I told him that yes, I was pregnant. About a week went by, and one Sunday evening, my friend told my parents that I was pregnant, and my mom flew into a rage, told my dad she was not raising another child and to get rid of it. I could do nothing but sob. Within 2 days, I found myself with my dad at the University Hospital having an ultrasound. By now, I was about 22 weeks pregnant, and the technician told my dad it was too late for an abortion. A short time later, I would say probably within a week, I found myself in a conversation with my parents. They told me that there might be a clinic in New York City that would do an abortion. We went to New York City. I found myself in a kind of a hospital room with 2 other women, but eventually I knew I had to push, and I pushed the button as instructed, and nobody came. Out of desperation, I managed to get out of my hospital bed with my IV pole and make it to the bathroom. And my baby boy was born in the toilet, and I saw him, and I passed out. I went home, and after about 2 days, I went back to school. I walked around in a daze. The confusion and the anger were so raw. I soon realized that if I didn't start attending class, I wasn't going to graduate from high school. And if I didn't graduate from high school, I wasn't going to be able to leave my home and sustain myself. So I buckled down and I finished high school. I went on to college and I graduated with honors. And I set out trying to prove my self-worth, of which I had very little left. I went on to get married, and I was blessed with 3 beautiful children. I now have 9 wonderful grandchildren. But as I raised those children, I always wondered if one of them was going to experience a tragedy or an illness as punishment for that abortion. And one Sunday, I went to church, and I got my church bulletin, and I opened it up, and out fell this insert. And on that insert was an advertisement for a Bible study called Forgiven and Set Free, Healing the Abortion Wounded Heart. And it was sponsored by CareNet Pregnancy Center of Dane County. I signed up immediately, and I went through that study, and it was the best thing I ever did. That study helped fill that Joshua-sized hole with Jesus Christ. And I was able to heal from the anger and the hurt and the guilt. Through all of that healing, I got back my voice, and I can tell my story now without shame, because I am not condemned. I believe that there's healing for all of us who've experienced abortion. There's a way and a hope, and it's Jesus. My son's name is Joshua, and if he were here today, he would be 50 years old.